What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Badass. Um, as y'all all know, my wife is pregnant, and everything's good. Everything's cool. About 4.5 months now. Found out that I'm gonna have a baby girl, and wow, that's a whole trip in and of itself. But what I'm talking about right now is I've been watching these Anon judicial committees, and between that and fucking JW Fairy Tale, I've been processing a lot lately and just kind of going over old things that you get kind of complacent about once you've been apostatizing for a little while. And it's just my biggest fear is that my daughter will think, and it's so crazy to say out loud, but that my daughter will think that her parents are wrong. Like, this is my biggest fear, is that either my mom or V's parents will get a hold of them at some point and will take them to the hall. Because, like she has to realize, and this is what I'm talking about by watching these videos and just connecting all the pieces that you see there, that this organization is really is so mind fucking people that it's obvious to everyone except them. Like, when they joined the UN, that was it for me. Like, I knew I wasn't gonna go back. I wasn't even thinking about going back to a hall. I already wasn't thinking it, but that right there cemented it for me. Because I went through a lot of trouble to find out if that was, accurate. And, when I say trouble, I really researched and spent a lot of time figuring out this shit was true. Like, this is how I actually started finding all these other sites, JW Facts and, Jehovah's Witnesses.net. And, to find out that it broke in a newspaper, just like any regular story would on any regular day, just a story. It's like, oh, that they witnesses have been involved in the UN for a long time too, like a decade. And then literally right after that, not even a week later, they pulled out. Like, oh shit, they found out. And they pulled out. And then they quickly rustled up the story that they did it because they needed a library card. And that's why they did it. And they spoon feed it to everyone. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, that's it. That's what happened. Okay. And when I was telling my mom about it, when I first found out about it, I was talking to her about it through emails. It was just easier. And she was like, well, where does this come from and everything like that. I sent her a copy of the letter that the UN had wrote in response, saying that, yes, it was true, and they've been getting a high volume of people asking about it. So, they just want to set the matter straight. Yeah, it was true, blah, blah, blah. And when I sent it to my mom, she was like, well, where did this letter come from? How can you trust where it came from? The secretary, so that she thinks that the secretary at the UN is in on it, right? She's the secretary at the UN is, to use the example, she's part of the Illuminati or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's part of a big conspiracy against the witnesses. Like, really? How self-centered is that? And they all believe that. And like, yo, if they ever got a hold of her and had her ever think that, oh, what your parents do is wrong. Like, I remember going over V's parents' house to I don't even like saying like my parents-in-law. I fucking hate that shit. Cause they're like her entire family is witnesses. Her entire family is witnesses. I just have my mom, you know, but her entire family, all her aunts, all her uncles, her mother, her father, her brother, his wife, obviously. You know, like all of them. And like when we went over there one time, I had just got a new arm tattoo, so I had it uncovered. You know, it was over there, and her little nephew saw my arm. He's like, "Oh, you got a tattoo? Oh, you're not supposed to have that, you know." And he like said it like with this air of arrogance, right? And he was like fucking like 8 years old. Is he even 8? I don't even think he's no, hell no, he's not even that old. His older brother was around that age. He was like 6. And like, and I was like, I saw it and I was like, really? Wow. That young, they've got them trained to like immediately hate people or to like point out the evil, the wrong in them, without even getting a chance to actually find out about the person, find out about something. In this particular case, with the UN, like I had a chance to find out. Like I got to see all the evidence there. It was just in the newspaper. The UN had corroborated it. Like this shit was everywhere. There was letters from the governing body. Like the governing body acknowledged it, that they had the brothers give a talk to say, you know, well, we need a library card, so that's that. It's over with. And they all just accept that shit and keep going. Like how there's no other thing that couldn't be smack dab in your fucking face. Like, yo, you're wrong. You are not, like, you're exactly what the Bible was talking about when they said that there will be false prophets who rise up from among you. Like, it's right in your face. Look who you're following. Like, it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail. Until it fails, it's gonna fucking die hard. Because, I mean, it's only been 100 years, but you know how when something bad happens, it's like time kind of slows down for a second. Then we think back at it, it just happened in a flash. Like, that's what I feel like I'm stuck in with this. Like, I know it's gonna happen, but it's just not happening fast enough. But I see it happening, so it's like, you know, the tension is there. But until that day, it's completely like 100% done with and deaded. Like I have to constantly make sure that my mom isn't like trying to coerce my daughter, because she'll do that. Any of the witnesses would do that. It's not just her. I'm not just picking on her. I'm saying like any of the witnesses will do that. They get a hand on your child. They try to indoctrinate them with this shit, and like you have nightmares. Oh my God, you have nightmares. I had a nightmare about fucking Armageddon when I was younger. Like I was in my house and it was all red inside. There were demons. They were flying around, and like there was like my house caught on fire. So I ran outside. When I ran outside, the streets was like filled with like almost like lava. I look at the top of my street. My street was kind of like on a hill, and so like I came out of my house and I look up. So I'm looking uphill, and at the top of the hill, like I can see like it wasn't like the White House. It was like the State House or some shit like that, and it was on fire. And it was like things like the sky was red and shit, and it was like demons flying all around and everything, and it was people running and screaming, and I'm like scared as shit. And I was young when I had this dream. This shit scared the shit out of me. Like, I don't want them to talk to my daughter about this. Is that wrong? Like, is it wrong that I don't want my mom to spend time with my daughter because I don't want her to think these things, these awful, horrible things that steal your childhood? Like, I want her to enjoy being a child. Just wanted to be fucking happy. Like, I was not happy. I was not a happy child. I was not happy at all. I just want her to be happy. That's all I want. I just want her to be happy. And she's not going to be happy if she does that. Like, I was reading this report the other day. Someone had posted it up. Was it the Snarky Apologist? It was someone who posted it. And there was a report saying that like 63 or 65% of those raised as Jehovah's Witnesses leave the religion. Like, I don't believe that to be a fabricated story. Like, it was posted by some journal or some shit. I can't remember. I'm sorry, I can't remember the link. If I remember the link, I'll put it down there. But yeah, it was saying that. I'm like, do you realize that? Okay, and this is probably like a 20-year study. Not like a 20-year study. 10 to 20-year study. It was a good amount of time. Enough time to say that the majority of families and the witnesses, that like if Armageddon was to happen, as close as you think it's going to happen tomorrow. So it's going to happen tomorrow. So let's give tomorrow maybe, 5 years? If we give tomorrow 5 years, like none of your children are going to be in the new system with you. Is that going to be paradise? Are you going to be happy? Like, and they say that you'll forget all your bad memories, so you only have good memories in there. So like, if technically your children were bad, you're not going to remember them. So you'll be in paradise because you only remember that you had children. Like, this could be a possibility because they make it so vague that that paradise is literally whatever you imagine it to be. They say that you'll be in your, like, I don't know, your bodily perfection. You know, like, not in your bloom of youth, but, you know, at your peak of development is where you'll always stay. So everyone in their own mind has their own view of what this is going to be. Like, really, really fat women are thinking, oh, I'm going to be so skinny, I'm going to be like a size 3. Like, that's not your bone structure. Like, you're never going to be that small. And that's not a bad thing. It's good. Carry whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? All women are beautiful. But just, like, they put that in your head so, like, it can just be whatever you want it to be. So that's why everyone gets sucked into that shit, because to them it's just perfect. Oh, this is going to happen. I'm going to see all my dead loved ones. Because the scripture says there'll be a resurrection of the righteous and the unrighteous. So even though you know that they weren't witnesses, maybe they can because of that scripture. But other than that, everyone else is going to be destroyed. Oh yeah, that person who you hang out with at school, oh yeah, they're going to be destroyed. You know why? Because they don't believe what you believe. That's why you can't be friends. Oh no, but they're good people, Mom. Like, they don't even swear. You know what I'm saying? They don't do any drugs. They're good in school and everything like that. We just, you know what I'm saying? We have fun. We laugh, whatever like that on the bus. We have a good time. Oh no. But do they believe what you believe? Because if they don't believe what you believe, then they're not a true friend. And that's how they all think. That's why, if you get disfellowshipped, or you disassociate yourself, which is the same fucking shit, because they say when you get disfellowshipped, oh no, it's not the brothers who disfellowship you. You're disfellowshipping yourself because you're being unrepentant. But when you disassociate it, you're choosing to not be a part of the organization. Both of them are the same thing. Why are there two separate terms? Why are they having it in the first place? Fuck that. It's a whole nother story. So yeah, I can't have my daughter have that shit. And like, no child should be exposed to that. Anyways, that's why you shouldn't be a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, that's what this one's gonna be. That's what this one's gonna be. Why you shouldn't be a Jehovah's Witness. Anyways, I talked a lot. I just had some OG Kush, y'all. So I'm being real with y'all right now. Badass. You know what I mean? Peace and love, though.